So I think it's time we talk about Spinel, a Pokemon Horizons villain that has been slowly going about his business, plotting up his evil shenanigans and becoming one of the darkest villains that the Pokemon anime has ever created. Let's talk about just how great a character Spinel is. So Spinel was introduced in episode 6 of Pokemon Horizons, and from day one this man was scheming. He was talking down to Amicio. You could tell that he was smart, you could tell he had a lot about him, and throw that in with a great design and really good voice actors in both dub and sub, and you have yourself one hell of a character. Spinel was a fan favourite from his debut, and I really enjoy how sneaky and conniving he is. You can tell he's always cooking up some sort of plot. You can tell he has more information than the next guy, and he fits so well in this group of explorers, all with different personalities and skills, and he's just constantly clashing with Amicio. He looks down on him as if he's the teacher's pet. He wants to undermine him and plot behind his back. We really haven't had a villain like this in the Pokemon anime ever. His first major role was when he was playing around with the Rising Volt tacklers around Laventia. Straight away we see how he lurks in the shadows behind a computer screen, keeping watch on everyone around him. And we can't forget about his team. He has these Pokemon that fit his style so well. He uses Magneton to disrupt the electricity and just completely block off everyone's devices, causing chaos and confusion. And then he uses Behem to spy on people, to record footage, and even to hypnotise people. The man will use all of his Pokemon in any way he sees fit, to the point where he might even see them as his pawns. He comes across as someone who doesn't really create bonds with his Pokemon, he just kind of uses them as tools to do his bidding. His menacing presence was first felt when we saw him put Liko in this trance state in an alleyway. This was his first major move when we really saw what he was capable of. It was a pretty chilling scene, seeing Liko's eyes in that deep state while Spinel snatches away the pendant. I mean, there was a little convenience to this whole plotline. Spinel won, he got the pendant, he literally could have just got away, but there was this whole plan with him luring Freed onto another ship while he tried to sneak away aboard a cargo ship. But it doesn't take away Spinel's brilliance and his cunning, how he manages to one-up people with technology and his methods of using his Pokemon. It was really shown off well in this arc. We didn't see too much of Spinel after this. We did see him in all of the Explorers meetings. We knew he was up to something. We did see him at the end of the second arc where he literally built a damn tower just to trap Freed in it, and Spinel was left to battle Freed, which was so cool to see since it's usually Freed versus Amicio going at it. So seeing him and Umbreon try to contain Freed inside this dark room was a really cool and creepy scene, fitting of Spinel and his characteristics. But let's talk about this current arc. This has been the one where Spinel has been the most quiet, and we are finally seeing the plans come to light. We see him sneaking around Exceed in episode 54, managing to get away with the Requiem, and it was all explained why. This man was cooking up his master plan, all to get Amicio kicked out of the Explorers. He despises this man. It all started with luring Liko and Amicio together by moving the rock foundations of the land and forcing the two to meet. And then, in honestly one of the best scenes in the whole show, he confronts them both with the Requiem in hand, using it on his own Umbreon. It goes back to what I said about his Pokemon, they are just tools. The effects that this had on Umbreon was horrible. It looked in pain, it looked angry, and it obviously wasn't natural, but he was forcing his partner to do this, showing just how truly evil this dude is. But his plan was a pretty good one. He learns about Terapagos and its immunity to the Requiem, and how it can cancel off its effects, and then proceeds to lure Liko and Amicio into this cave, all because he knows that they will work together and find a way out. He just read Amicio like a book. I mean, people were losing their minds saying Spinel has literally just committed murder by sealing them two in the cave, but it was pretty smart. Also, he could again use his Behem to capture them on film and basically frame Amicio for being a traitor and kicking them out of the Explorers. There were so many levels to this plan, and it all had to go a certain way, but you can tell that he put a lot of thought into this, and he is just playing an entirely different game. There's been a few instances where you can just see the pure look of insanity on his face, and it's just so satisfying to watch this unhinged villain in the Pokemon anime, because it's really rare, and I think Spinel is one of the best villains and the most insane villains the anime has ever cooked up. People compare him to Hunter J, and I think he's worse, Jay was ruthless, brutal, and had so many horrible ways of doing things, but in the end her motive was money. It was all just a job for her. She was stoic and wanted to get the job done, but this man Spinel, he is thriving off the chaos. He looks up to our believer laughing, losing his mind. He forces his own Pokemon to turn savage just because he can. I can't wait to see more of Spinel and what he's planning. Does he really serve Gibeon? Is he in it for the explorers, or does he have other more selfish motives? I do wonder what his goals are. Maybe once we find out why he does the things he does, we can see both sides of this. But for now, this dude is insane and I'm all here for it.